Missed Canvas integration overview. So we're going to show today how the integration works between Mist platform and Canvas platform. So we've got these platforms that is open. So once you've decided to integrate with your platform Mist, could be Mist Hybrid or Mist RTO Manager, one of the things that you need to do is you need to provide us the login details of your Canvas site, so we can generate a token for the integration purpose and enable that configuration linked with your platform. So once that is done, what you generally would be able to do is then use the integration to be able to push the data, a certain data from different areas, such as your subjects that are set up in the systems, the semesters that are also pushed across, and of course the students' enrollment and the Canvas user accounts and so on. So let's have a look. The first thing is we're going to see that on the managed calendar side of things, you would have set up your semesters within the platform, and each of these semesters will then be pushed into Canvas as a term. So we'll look at Canvas and log in there. So when you log into Canvas, you will be able to see your admin sections, obviously with the administrator's login or access. You will be able to go to courses, and this is where you will see all the terms. So the terms such as Semester 2, 2019, which runs from July to October 27, so 8th of July to October 27. So we've already pushed this data across. So when you create a new semesters within the system, and as long as the parameters, you're pushing the semesters 14 days before or so on, depending upon the rules that are set up in the configuration, you will then be able to see that semester appear in the platform. What then happens is each of these semesters will then be linked to, obviously your subjects now through the timetabling process. Now, before we do that, we'll have a look at the subjects part and how the subject core are set up within Mesh, and then how it comes back as courses within Canvas. Okay, so as usual from your program, the courses that you have set up within your platform, all the list of courses will be populated. And for each of these courses, then you would have created your subjects and those subjects that you would link with your courses. So that is something that's part of the platform that you would be doing that. So let's have a look at the course subject section. So we would see that Bachelor of Accounting having a number of subjects that is there in the system as an example. Now we can see next what we will do is we will see onto Canvas course subjects. So you have an option to choose the list of subjects that you would need to push to Canvas, or you can choose to push everything, all the subjects, as long as they've been offered in Canvas. Or you can also do a mapping. For example, Canvas course mapping between the platforms for each semester. So you can also choose what are the subjects that you would want to push for specific semesters. There's also a possibility to set up tasks and so on. So let's choose one of the subjects within Bachelor of Accounting. So let's look at Business Analytics as a subject. So we would then go to our setups for assessments. So this would allow us to essentially go into set up assessment task, and for these particulars, business analysis subjects, we're going to create some assessment. Business analytics. So I'm going to create an assessment 1, which is a class assignment, or you could do it as quiz. Assessment could be grouped, so I'm just putting it as a 20 marks. Essay, report, so we're going to put it as a 30 out of 30, which is 100 marks, pass marks. So again, depending upon your process, may be slightly different, and final exam. And that would be, weighting would be 50, so that's total would be 100. So once you set up these assessments, then what we do is we would then set up a timetable. So for this example, we're going to select for semester 2, which starting from 8th of July till 14 weeks, and we are going to select business analytics, and we're going to create SEM2 2019. Let's say we call it as batch A. Okay. So that's Wednesday. We could create class between 12 to 2 and lecture room 2. Okay. So this is what we are going to do as standard process of creating timetables. So the timetables has now been created for business analytics class, and we should see that information now pushed to Canvas. So what we have done is we've ensured that for that particular semester, the Canvas course, the subject's timetable has been created, and we have set up assessment. Now we will wait for the integration to run. Obviously, for the demo purpose, we are running it frequently, every 5 minutes, but generally it would be once a day or every 2 hours, depending upon the configuration requirement. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the list of courses that is in Canvas, and we will be selecting semester 2 2019 course. So far we can see there are financial accounting, contemporary accounting issues, auditing, business law, principal, accounting fundamentals, and commercial law. So far these are the number of courses in Canvas that is being, but as we have just now created the timetable for us 101 business analytics, that is something that should appear here shortly. Now I'm going to refresh the page to see if the data has come across. So yes, so just as I refresh, so business analytics has come across. That's the new course that we just created. And then we go to this particular section, and we would be able to see say assignment and other informations as we process through. So I'm going to refresh that. So now it says it's published. So we'll check the assessment part of it, and then the assessments should also come. So let's have a look where the assessment is linked. So we have created this batch SEM2 2019A. So we go to academic progress, and we will go to this particular batch, and we will add the business analytics for this semester, semester 2, and SEM2 2019 batch A. So there are 3 assessments that are available. So I'm going to add all of these 3 to make it ready for the integration to then pull these assessments back into this assignment section. So which will happen in the next run of the integration. Okay, so we'll have a look if the assessments have been pre-populated, so it's just the integration is running at the moment. So as you can see now, the assessments are visible. So each assessment gets created under its own assessment group. So we can also enable the group weight, so 20, 30, and 50. So we'll be able to see that, as you can see, within the interface. Now, the next step is to obviously see if any students are enrolled on this particular course. So let's go back to our mesh platform. So let's search for a student and then enroll students into this particular subject. So we're going to do that. Going to check one of the users. So I've got this Ramesh over here. So it depends upon if the students is already created in Canvas. So that is one of the requirements. The student's account must be created in Canvas. So it can be done if this ONSO 20 student has to be created. Either it can be done through this icon, or you could go to student profile summary and create the account from there as well. So the first process is obviously the account has to be created. So you can either click that in the search section, or you can click in here. So it will check if the user has been created or not. So that's the first requirement. The mesh user must exist. So for this, we may create the user account, and then so create user. Now, once that is created, then you would be able to create the Canvas account as well. So either using that, and then it pushes the data across, and the user accounts in Canvas gets created, and the icons gets updated as well. So over here, you would be able to, we will just go through this user, and then we would go to the results section. It doesn't matter how the enrollment happens, but we are going to select the subject's business analytics for these students to enroll, and then see how that processes through. So business analytics is what I'm selecting, semester 2. So 2019 is, so I'm going to have an enroll, so that the students is now enrolled. So the next process is, because the students is now enrolled, we should have the integration push in next iteration, and the students will then appear within this particular course within Canvas. Okay, so let's have a look for the integration running. The users will come across. Okay, so now the student is enrolled on this particular subject, which is course in Canvas. So we will then be able to also see the batch that has been created through the settings. Go to sections, so we can see same to 2019. So we've got Pramesh Kashkar 5 that we enrolled. So the students will have access to the material online. And obviously, they may get an automated email of the enrollment. The next point is obviously now to bring the final piece of integration, mark them within Canvas, and bring them to Mesh. So we'll have a look at the results section for business analytics. So currently no marks exist. So we're going to go to the marks section, and then we will simply be marking out of 90 out of 100 for assessment, 78 for essay, 86 for final exam. So we've got all marked over here. So obviously 3 assessment has been marked, and then the total marks. So based on this, now we expect the integration to then pull into this section in the next iteration and update the marks and update the grades. Okay, so we're going to have a look on the results, assessment results. So we're going to select business analytics, the student list. So now, as you can see, the integration is bringing the assessment marks. So assessment 1 is 90, essay is 78, final exam is 86. So which means the same 90, 78, and 86 has now been brought back in meshed. So it can have locked and approved. So these results are finalized. So the process completes. So just to recap, obviously everything you would do normal in meshed platforms, depending upon what platform you're using. You set up semesters, they get pre-populated as terms, and you can set up the Canvas courses, and once the timetables are created within that particular semester terms, the subjects are pushed as courses, and as students' Canvas accounts are created and they are enrolled into those relevant batches, the timetables, link them, then they would then be enrolled into those particular subjects and sections, batches within Canvas, and then through the gradebook, the marks can be set up, and the marks can then be brought back to meshed. And of course, the assessment has to be set up as well in order for those assessments to then be pushed into Canvas as well. So that's an overview to see how the Canvas works. The automation happens, and it does all of those things. So if you've got a number of students being enrolled, it will push all those students the next time the integration works. So it goes through a different iteration and obviously syncs the data from mesh to Canvas and Canvas to Mist. Thank you for your time.